Hi guys, it's Ella. And Allie. Today I'm going to be doing the review of Masque of the Red Death by Bethany Griffin. I've heard a lot of people, or I've seen a lot of people hauling this book, but I haven't heard many people actually talk about it, so that's what I'm going to do today. As you can see, another change of background. I'm just trying to find a place that I can film. Okay, so this book is based on a short story by Edgar Allan Poe. If you know anything about Edgar Allan Poe, he wrote pretty dark stories, just not necessarily the most cheerful things, and this is based on one of his short stories, so it is not the most cheerful thing. The story follows a girl named Araby, and her father is the person that invented the masks, since the plague that they're all dealing with is contracted through breathing the same air as an infected person. The disease manifests as welts and sores, pus-filled sores all over the victim's body. They pop, they ooze, quite graphic, quite unpleasant. I gave this book, I believe, 3 stars. This is the first book in the Masque of the Red Death duology, right? And while it was quite dark, Allie, dude, seriously? While it was quite dark, it was also enjoyable. The story, like I said, follows Araby, and she is quite messed up. There is no other way to put it. She just is quite messed up. She's depressed. She basically has substance abuse issues. My dog is trying to eat me. Ah, away with you, foul creature. She has substance abuse issues. She has issues with interacting with other people. She just basically has a lot of issues. And that stems from the fact that her twin brother died of the plague before their dad could develop the masks. So her brother passed away, so she made a vow when he died that, that she was not going to experience anything that he didn't. Well, she also has a best friend that's also kind of reckless and a little bit crazy, and they go to a debauchery club together and just do drugs and get hammered, and it's a good time. And she meets her best friend's brother, and his name is Elliot, and he tends to enable Araby's self-destructive behavior. But also at the same time, Araby meets Will, who actually works at the club, and one night Will actually saves Araby. She's all drugged out on the floor, basically drowning in her own vomit, which is super classy. And he takes her home with him, and she gets to know Will, and she starts developing feelings for Will, like you do. But she also, once her best friend goes missing, she also has to work with Elliot to try to get her back and figure out what's going on. Elliot wants to start a revolution. And he's going about it in a funny way, if you ask me, but he wants to start a revolution. And Araby does everything she can to help him. About halfway through, okay, maybe like a third of the way through the story, Araby starts to snap out of her funk, depression, just self-destructiveness. Will makes her see that her twin brother that passed away would want her to experience all those things for both of them, instead of just shutting down. The weirdest part of the story was when the love interest. So obviously, love triangle, like we didn't see this coming from a mile away. One of the love interests is Will, completely on board with Will. And the other one is Elliot, but it's so weird because it's like Will keeps telling Araby not to trust him and keeps just being really mean and just really unpleasant. And then all of a sudden he's like, I love you. And she's like, where did this come from? Is he lying to me? And starts being all insecure and really weird about the whole thing. I thought that was a little unnecessary, really. Who does that? I mean, I get it. Different world, different all that. But it was just really strange the way that it was done. With Will's affection, it kind of develops naturally, and they talk and they, you know, they have things in common, or they find things in common, even though Araby is, you know, one of the wealthier people in the community and Will is not. But with Elliot, it's all just really, really weird. So that's basically what the story is about. Then after this whole love fiasco, Will and Elliot are super, super jealous of each other and, you know, kind of get into a pissing contest essentially. So, with all that being said, this revolution starts at the end of this book, I'm sorry. And then there's a sequel to this book since it is a duology. Like I said, I give it 3 out of 5 stars. I wasn't super impressed. I would probably recommend this book during Halloween-ish. Or just if you're into really dark reads, because that's essentially what it is. It's a really dark read. If you have read this book, definitely let me know down in the comments. And let me know if my review was at all helpful. I'm not the best reviewer in the world. But yes, let me know if you've read this book, or let me know if you've read the sequel, because I own that as well, and I'm a little bit dreading picking it up because, to be quite honest, I don't know if I really care what happens to Will, Araby, and Elliot. They're kind of forgettable. Anyway, like I said, let me know down in the comments if you have read this book, and I hope you have a good night, and I will see you next time. Bye!